All right, here we go, guys. Hey. Because he's putting in headphones. Yeah, what's up?
Hold on. Don't have my headphones in yet. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How am I coming across? Do I sound okay?
Yeah, everything's great.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
No, not a problem at all.
I set the time and I managed to screw it up. That should give you some idea of like what the odds were that I could run the operation I'm running over here.
I was gonna say, I kept rereading it. I'm like, did I assume what he was saying the wrong way? Like, I don't know. I just got really confused for a second.
Nope, no, I was super clearly communicated exactly the wrong opposite thing of what I actually meant.
Awesome. Well, people they didn't believe me that you were coming on because they're like, oh, this is a nice try, just saying that he's coming on, real funny. But no, he's here, guys. See, I wasn't lying.
Are we live?
We are live.
Should I be watching this somewhere?
You can. I tweeted it. It's probably in your app mentions, I would assume, where you go to youtube.com/swashin TV. There's already 324 people waiting.
324. That's almost as many people wait for me for my show.
Yeah, wow.
Which is also always late. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, right off the bat, people were like, "Oh no, he does this all the time. Don't worry." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." I mean, I assumed that, but I thought I messed it up, so I got a little worried. Okay, so if you, I don't know if you saw in your email, I sent you the pictures.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at them.
Okay, and then oh, you're already on. Okay, all right, good. Just making sure you saw that.
Okay, I have not rated them yet though. I'll be completely honest with you. This morning I shot 6 videos.
Wow.
Up until now.
So that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
Like my whole plan today was I was gonna like roll into the office. I was gonna like burn through my videos. Then I was gonna have some time to do emails and stuff. And then I was gonna come on the show at 3.
Yeah.
And so that's not the plan anymore. But I was like, I was literally standing on set mid-sentence when I got a tweet from Sergeant Ballistic.
Yep.
Where like for some reason your emails weren't showing up on my watch, which is the only thing I look at when I'm filming. I'll glance at my watch. I'll go, okay, is this hyper important or is this not worth my time right now because I'm on set?
Yeah.
And I saw his tweet. He's like, yo, Matt's waiting for you. I'm like, what? Why would he be waiting for me? Is he some kind of tool? Because he can't figure out that I'm not due on there for 3 hours? And then I check the email, and the tool is me. And I'm just like, no, what am I going to do? So I literally kicked Nick out of his office so that I could have somewhere to stream this. And I was like, are you planning to go for lunch? He's like, well, I don't have lunch today. I'm not sure. I'm like, okay, do you want to go for lunch? What are you getting? He's like, yeah, maybe I'll get sushi. I'm like, cool. Can I have some too? Also, go now because I need your office.
That's great. At least you were able to find out. You know, I felt like, you know, people are like, way to lie, you know, way to go, Matt. But I'm like, no, I promise. That's what the email says. But yeah, so, I mean, if you want to just quickly, you just throw down any numbers. It's not going to make or break the show. It's, you know.
What is OOSOOM?
It says on site, out of sight, out of mind. It's just like having, you know, things on your desk that you don't really need, that you don't use like on a daily basis. Stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think this one gets a great score for that.
This is going to be a good one. People are already saying, they're like, how is he coming on the show? Look at his office. So, you know, people already talking smack in the comments.
All right. Well, you know what? Do you want to just like should we just kind of riff while I do my actual ratings here, and then we can actually stream the things after. I know I'm supposed to do this in like the 20 minutes before the show, but as you can tell, there was no 20 minutes before the show at all. That didn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to just, you know, we'll score it as we go through the show. I think it'll be fine.
Sure. Well, I've got the first one done, so why don't we go from there? We'll just start the debate. So I'm looking at the one with the like galaxies and crap, right?
Yeah. So what?
All right, man.
What we're gonna do is I just do a quick little intro.
Sure.
I'll say the show starts, and then you say now, however you want to say it. Be creative, I guess. And then we'll do another cut. So here we go. On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
No.
Awesome.
Please tell me no one's ever done that before, because I have no idea.
No, that's the first time ever. Good job.
Something different. Cow now.
All right, so now we go into this is where the whole show is, one take. I'm just going to say my name is Matt Philly. Check me out on Twitter, and then you say your name, and you say, I guess, Twitter.
Hamster testicles.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, was it one? Can we cut that out? This is one take?
No, this part gets cut out, and then we go into the one take. So,
I was disappointed. I thought I was going to ruin the show by saying hamster testicles.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, you could say that when we start, and then you could ruin the show. So.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 25, recorded live on March 3rd, 2015. My name is Matt Philly. You can check me out on Twitter at Matt Philly. That's your cue.
No. Oh, sorry. Right. So it's different now. Right. Sorry. I'm at Linus Tech. I guess I'm a guest on the show today. I'm going to be helping rating some of the helping rating. See, this is how flustered I am. This is what happens when I film for like 4 hours straight. Is I start to just say anything that pops into my mind. So you can find me at Linus Tech on Twitter, which I already said, and I also have a YouTube channel that's Linus Cat Tips. Linus Cat Tips on YouTube. That is a legitimate channel.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
It sucks though, but.
Well, hopefully that drives a lot of traffic. My huge audience will take over.
Awesome.
But yeah, so let's talk setups because that's why you're here. So this first setup, is that Quentin? Is that how you would say that name?
Yeah, Quentin. Yeah. Quentin.
Okay, Quentin. He's 15 from United States, and he wanted to know what he can do to improve it. So, taking your first glance at the setup, what would you say about it?
First glance at this setup is, I think the desktop wallpaper really makes it. I like that the accent lighting behind the triple monitor setup actually goes with it, but that is about as cohesive a theme as we're getting here. Everything else feels a little bit haphazard. Do we go through the individual ratings as we go? Like, do we critique piece by piece, or do we just talk overall?
Yeah, we just kind of talk overall, but if you want to make mention of a specific category, you can.
Sure. So there were a couple things that stood out to me at this one. I thought the wire management was better than you did. I mean, the thing about any triple monitor setup is that those are a bit of a bear to deal with. Yeah. Whether it's a dual link DVI or whether it's a DisplayPort connector, they tend not to be the easiest to cable manage, and I think he's done a pretty good job of keeping it out of the way, especially considering the glass tabletop surface and the extremely the very industrial looking thin legs that you can't really hide things behind or tuck them behind. The usability though of this setup is I'd say pretty good. One thing that I would add, and this is like a really minor detail, is I would probably add a floor mat. Because the way that I see this being used is you're either sitting at the computer or you're sitting at the TV. So you're probably going to want to move your chair back and forth unless you've got something like a recliner for the TV, which I don't see, but maybe that's been moved out of the way, in which case that's pretty cramped now with your desk chair and your recliner. So I'd like to see a little bit of an easier slide back and forth between the TV and the computer. And then other than that, I like it. Accessories-wise, it doesn't seem to be completely overdone. I'm liking the racing wheel over on the side there. That's obviously the reason that the triple monitor setup exists. Yeah. And I'm liking this one overall. Very functional, but the room itself feels a little bit bare. It's like it's a setup, but it's not like a man cave. Even something as simple as like a clock and like a Coke sign or poster or so, like some posters would really make this one jump out at me a little bit more as like, this is my den. Yeah,
I agree, because it's just the walls that really kill it, because I mean that wallpaper really gives you a whole new, I don't know, it kind of puts you in like a new dimension looking at it, and I definitely think it's just the walls that lack a lot here, but everything else, I mean, it's pretty clean. He's got it to the point. I like it. It's the usability is there. He's got a lot of different accessories all around, so overall it's really nice. I don't really think there's much more to say about that one. I think that's pretty much it.
I love that blackout curtain on the window though.
Yeah.
Fear the light. That's awesome.
Yeah, especially with a setup like this. I mean, it looks like he doesn't like the light, so I like it. It's awesome. So let's take a look at that next setup. All right, so before we even talk about it, this was submitted at Christmas time. So
Okay, that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's not his just LEDs, on a cheap version. But he's 16 and he games, he edits videos, stuff like that. So taking a look at it, what are your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts on this one is that I don't care if it is Christmas. That Christmas light setup is terrible. That's just awful. Like surely there must have been a way to get the Christmas lights started behind some kind of obstruction or something, and then like run across like the back of the see. This is like Christmas light 101 stuff right here, where like your lights are just kind of sticking out at every which angle, where it just kind of looks like you took like you like sneezed out some lights and they just kind of flew all over your desk. Like you got to get them aligned nicely. That's what makes it look clean. But aside from the Christmas lights, I'm liking the green LEDs on the keyboard, matching up with the accent color on the case. I'm liking the wall-mounted headphones. That's something that separates a well thought out gaming setup from one that's just kind of a mess. Is having a legitimate place to put your headphones when they're not in use, where they're not going to get run over by your chair, or they're not going to get knocked off your desk and break on the floor. So that's smart right there. Always like the wall-mounted headphones.
What are your now this is something that I debate a lot with people. What are your thoughts on the deodorant right next to the 360?
Oh, that makes a ton of sense, because it's one of those things where if you're into gaming enough, like if you're into gaming to the right degree,
yeah.
Do they have that in America? That's a type of deodorant in Canada.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a joke.
I've seen
it's a bad joke.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's why I didn't laugh. Yeah, that's why.
I know. I'm liking the deodorant next to the console because I mean it's not for him. It's obviously for the console.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
Performance. You got to do something about it. And Lord knows you can't make it go any faster. So yeah, no, I'm liking it.
All right. So taking a look, what are your thoughts on like the right side with all those cables? Because I can't really even. I mean, the Christmas lights don't help because they just look like a mess. But that's really the only spot where we see cables, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where it seems like I can see why this was more convenient, because moving the desk out, getting back there and wrapping everything up, and then moving the desk back in is a little bit less convenient, but that does seem like something that could be improved just to make things a little bit cleaner, because other than that, the setup's very clean. It does feel a little cramped, though. Like, as someone who used to have a desk that must have been, like, the light finish version of that from IKEA or whatever, that's a very cramped desk, especially considering the monitor size and that full-size keyboard. So if I was going to improve a couple of things about this setup, it would be go for the 10 keyless keyboard, assuming you can live without a number pad, or you can have a separate one that you use once in a while, or make that desk a little bit wider and then get those cables out of the way. Yeah. And then same thing with that. Is that an Ethernet cable over on the left there? Like, what is that? That should be running along the baseboard for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just realized how. Yeah, that's just out in the open, like floating middle of the wall. No big deal there, though. So yeah, I definitely agree that the desk is a little too cluttered, but it looks like he has room. He could get like a bigger desk, but
looks like it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but that's definitely a lot of good tips. Now this next setup, this one I want to hear what you have to say. This is from Jason. He is 14. And he even custom built this desk so that it fits for his wall, everything like that. And he just wants to know what he should add and what he should move around. So what do you have to say about it?
I am really liking this one so far. Some people are going to give Jason here a pretty hard time about the book monitor stand, the book monitor leveling strategy. I like it. Okay. I've done that for years. The only reason I actually own a proper monitor stand is that Silverstone called me up when they saw me using some janky thing, and they were like, "Can we please send you a monitor stand?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can't review a monitor stand. I'm like, there's no justification for sending me this." And they go, "Yeah, but we can't have you using that, so we're just going to send it to you." Like, I've always been a book monitor stand guy. Really? Back in my old office at NCIX where I used to work, I actually had like video card boxes and stuff to level out all of my monitors. So I'm liking that. One challenge that I think Jason has here, and that I think a lot of people with multi-monitor setups have, is what to do with those speakers. Laying them down on their side like that is kind of ghetto. But I don't necessarily have a better solution. Like honestly, what I have going on right now, because I've got a widescreen. I don't have two screens, but I do have a fairly large widescreen monitor on my desk. Is I've just kind of got them out so far that they kind of peek around the corner, and even then I'm kind of running out of room on my desk. But it looks like that's mostly addressed by the headphones over there. I can't tell what those are. Are those SMS audio headphones up there?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on them.
Okay, Jason's got to do a little bit of research on his audio products before he buys them. That Turtle Beach headset could be improved for the same price. Like, I'm not hating on, inexpensive headsets or inexpensive headphones, but the gaming brands are not necessarily the ones that are delivering the best quality. And when you talk about audio quality, there's no such thing as good gaming audio. There's good, accurate audio, and then there's garbage. There's that's all there is. There is no like, oh well, this is good, this is tuned for gaming. If you want to tune it for gaming, you use a software EQ. Done.
Yeah.
But you always want to start with something that is giving you accurate, good quality sound. What would I improve here? Are those like front USB thing? Is that a front USB hub under the lip of the desk? I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a very functional little piece. Means you don't have to reach down for your desk. It's also out of the way. That means you don't have your USB hub, many of which are powered. I can't tell if this one has power running to it as well, but many of which are powered and have two wires running to them, so you don't have that all over your desk. Yeah, I'm liking this overall. I wish I had a rig like this when I was his age. The best that I could do was my gamer handle was Closet Gamer, and the reason for that was I actually had it was on wheels, like it was an actual desk. It was like this bright green desk. And then I actually had that in my closet so that I could tuck my chair in and close my closet. This actually kind of reminds me of my setup. Wow. And I wish I was like smart enough / cool enough to build my own desk for it, because that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, to make it custom fit, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Some people are saying that's probably the Monster DNAs. Those headphones.
Well, that's not really any better.
Yeah, so. You're still at the bottom. And taking a little bit of cables. That's why I always recommend the IKEA Signum. It's $10, and literally all your cables, no problem at all, they disappear. So I would look into that. And I'm surprised that so you're more of like a do-it-yourself kind of guy. I guess that's what you would say.
I admire the DIY spirit. I don't always find the time to do it myself. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like I'm kind of stuck in the middle between things. Like, I'll come up with like awesome DIY plans. Like, I've got a couple dozen pairs of headphones myself. I'm a bit of a collector. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I just had them like piled on a desk, which is terrible. So I was trying to come up with like this like custom rack idea that I could build to like put them all over my wall, and then finally I was just like, forget it, I give up. And then I put them on a shelf. So like I come up with these ideas, but like I always admire it, and people are like, yeah, I have this cool DIY idea. I'm gonna like build this desk that has no legs, so nothing to hit my leg against when I'm moving my chair back and forth. Like, I can get my PC way over to the side. There's nothing interfering with it. Really, really like the execution. Very simple. Looks like that tabletop was just recycled from something, because you can see that curve on the left that kind of doesn't make sense. Yeah. So it looks like it was just pulled out of something else. Cut, go. Like it. That's awesome. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I kind of at times I disagree with the book thing, but for him, it doesn't look terrible, because it's not the end of the world. But I would definitely love to see an actual stand at some point to get them level, or just the same monitors. That would also be good. Okay, let's talk DIY for a second here then. What if he like spray painted those books black? That would be cool. Spray painted books. Yeah, they're next level things right here. Still functional. Yep. Go for it. Make it happen. Yep. Now people are going to beat you to it, and they're going to have like a whole series on YouTube on how to spray paint books properly. But yeah, so overall it's a pretty interesting setup. He's got theme, he's got personality, as you can see, with some things on the side. I don't know what's above, but I'm assuming that's probably a shelf or something.
maybe. I don't know.
Looks like it's diamond plate of some sort. I don't know what it's doing though.
Yeah. Regardless, pretty awesome setup. But now let's go on to the next one. This one, This one's pretty interesting, especially for the kind of desk it is. But it is submitted by Lewis. He's 19 from Ohio, and that's basically all he said. But what are your thoughts on the cable management on a desk like this?
Pretty tough. Done really well. It's pretty incredible. You can't see it. I really like the LED strips around the edge of the desk.
Yeah.
It gives it a really cool look. I am not liking that Star Wars Phantom Menace crap that's on that corner piece there. That is some world-class garbage going on right there. Like, any acknowledgement of Star Wars Episode 1 is too much acknowledgement of Star Wars Episode 1. I mean, that right there is like, this comes in last place. I haven't even looked at the last 4. And like, Lewis, you lost. It's done. It's over. I'm thinking Lewis is a student, liking the layout for a student, like really great. You throw your laptop or your books on the left whenever you're doing that. You've got your desktop over on the right. Like the compromise between having the PC on the floor. That's actually something I haven't mentioned before. I don't like the PC on the floor.
Okay.
From the last setup. And from the, I believe the first one also has the PC on the floor.
Yeah.
Even if you are, a vacuuming enthusiast, having your PC on the floor, even if you got dust filters, is not going to be as good for keeping it free of dust. And even having it a foot and a half off the floor is a really, really good idea. Also the printer. I'm liking the printer. So few people have a printer as part of their setup that you almost get like retro points just for having one. So that's my thoughts on this one. Also needs a chair, floor mat though. You're gonna wreck that carpet. So if you're living at home, then like go to Costco and buy a floor mat because your parents deserve their floor to be nice.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the at night shot that really shows it off. I don't really see a lot of setups with sort of the purple, and it's kind of funny because the first setup had purple and now this has purple, and it's like, oh, I don't see it that often, but there it is. It's happening.
There it is, man.
Yeah. I think it's really nice. If you wanted to go crazy, I would do something to that table and just maybe get a new one or make it black, something like that. That would really make it come together. But
yeah, the side table is not really working with the rest of the scheme. Again, a can of spray paint is the solution, though, I think.
Wow. You should just advertise spray paint from here on out. That'd be a good idea.
I know. Why don't I have like Tremclad as a sponsor or something?
You should figure that out. I'm sure you'll make that happen. But anyways, let's go on to the next setup. The next setup is submitted by Zach. He didn't give me his age or anything like that, so we don't have anything to work off of. But I think you can kind of gather he's a little bit younger. And what are your thoughts on, first off, before even the setup, what are your thoughts on the wall? I mean, the sunglasses and stuff, or are those gunners or sunglasses? Can't really tell. It's a little blurry.
Yeah, this is not a great picture.
Yeah.
If you are agitated and confused, my job here is done. It looks like an XFX graphics card. I believe that's one of their door hangers.
Okay.
And then we got like Spider-Man going on there. Then we've got some headphones, and I'm liking the microphone arm and the pop filter.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's pretty nice. So we got some gameplay streaming or podcasting going on. I don't know if that's like a dead animal around the very bottom of the case at the front there. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I don't know. What is that, right?
I hope the case isn't sitting on top of that, though, because that case has a bottom-mounted power supply, which means that if the fan is upside down, it could be trying to suck air through that. That could be a bit of a problem. That desk also reminds me of my old IKEA desk. I'm not liking the random newspapers. Like, if you're going to take a picture of your setup, you got to get rid of the newspapers before you take the picture of your setup.
Yeah.
And that Dell monitor, that looks old enough to have a VGA input. That is like some crazy old stuff. But then old secondary monitor, like, I respect that because that means you're reusing your electronics instead of just junking them. And your secondary monitor, if you've got 2 monitors, you're not gaming on 2 monitors. You've either got 3 monitors for gaming, so your crosshair's not over a bezel, or you've got 1 monitor for gaming. So I see the second monitor as like a utility monitor, and it's for like, comparing a web page against something you're writing or whatever else. So I'm cool with the super lousy secondary monitor. But wireless peripherals, Not a big fan. Without being able to tell exactly what model they are, there aren't ones that I recognize as being particularly good. So wireless peripherals are kind of dead to me these days, unless they're like really exceptional. I'm liking the Texas Instruments calculator back there, though.
Yeah.
Really liking that. That mouse pad is awful though. Like it's not just awful like it looks ugly. It's awful like it's not going to be very good for tracking.
Yeah.
Because it's got a really high contrast graphic on it. But then you've got a wireless mouse, so what do you care about mouse performance anyway? So there's definitely a lot of things that I could see being improved here. I'm liking the old school tape roll.
Yeah.
You know, with that weighted base. You never know when you're going to need like a lot of tape and a calculator. For putting your newspapers back together and calculating how quickly the newspaper industry is going to go away.
That is probably exactly what he does. I don't know how you were able to gather that information, but that's a good hypothesis right there.
Analyst.
Yeah, there you go.
Analyst.
So yeah, I mean, the desk is definitely, again, this is another setup that we see that has a lot of room and could benefit from a bigger desk, especially if at some point you plan on getting another display, perhaps not that Dell one, and you want to run dual. You definitely want to get a bigger desk. You know, even if you go for 127-inch, you're going to want to go bigger, I would assume, because I don't like desks like that anymore because they're very cramped in the sense that you can't move your legs around that much. You don't have the freedom. So it's kind of like, not a big fan. But I mean, if you use the tape and the calculator on a daily basis, you know, more power to you. Keep it out. But if not, put it away. That's just how I feel. And then LEDs, obviously, almost every setup looks good. Well, actually, that's something I wanted to ask you because I had John Rettinger on last episode, and he doesn't like LEDs.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't like it behind desks. He doesn't like it behind TVs. But what about you? You like that or no?
Okay, so for my personal, there's certain things I like, there's certain things I don't. So in my media center, I do have a white LED strip behind my TV.
Okay.
It's supposedly better for contrast or some nonsense or something like that. Basically, I put it on, I couldn't tell the difference. It wasn't worth the effort to take it back down. So that's why it's back there. It doesn't bother me though. It really doesn't bother me in any way. LEDs can bother me when they're extremely bright and they're on an element that's distracting from what I'm supposed to be looking at. Like if the Apple TV had some super obnoxious like halogen light bulb class light on the front of it, then that would bother me. For my personal rig, no LEDs aside from inside the case, and I won't use colored LED. Like I won't use visible light LEDs. I find them distracting. So like a green or a red LED, I'm not going to use those. I use UV LEDs.
Okay.
So those, I find the glow of ultraviolet. It's got a slight purple to it. Again, more purple.
Yeah, there you go.
Must be because I'm on the show.
Yeah.
So it's got a purple visible look to it, but I don't find it glaring out of my peripheral vision because my computer's right next to me. Mm-hmm. But then it makes my water cooling tubing glow also not super bright. So it's a very subdued glow that I can appreciate if I'm looking right at it, but I don't have to look at it. Okay. So that's kind of my thoughts on LEDs. I don't like them to be distracting, but they can be cool. Like I don't mind, like my peripherals is nice. Like I'm using an RGB keyboard right now, so I have it set to purple, so it kind of looks like the inside of the computer, stuff like that. Yeah. But again, I don't have it super bright because I don't want it to be glaring at me from my peripheral vision. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I go for, in my setup, it's just nice ambient lighting. Nothing. I don't like the really strong bright lights either, especially if I'm trying to do work because it's kind of like overkill. And like you said, you can't focus when you got all these colors going around like a rainbow. It's not a Skittles commercial, you know, you're just trying to enjoy your computer. So yeah, no, I agree with that. And it's just interesting to see how, you know, people think differently about LEDs. Because one thing you see in almost every setup is LEDs. So yeah, it's kind of funny.
And that's actually another key, saying the thing you see is the LEDs. I never want to see the LEDs. Yeah. Like that's another thing is the LED lighting in my case is behind corners. Yeah. So I see the light it casts, but I don't want to see the LED. Oh. So that's pretty critical.
Yeah, because that could just ruin a whole setup. If you see each little bulb, it's like, okay, yeah, no thanks. But yeah, all right. So now let's go on to the next setup submitted by Ryan. And sure. Ryan, let's see. He didn't give an age, but he actually, if you look at his secondary display on the right, that's actually his picture of his setup now. He actually said this is from the future. He made magic happen, because that's how it would look on the screen right now. So I thought that was pretty funny. He put the time into doing that. More power to you. But what are your thoughts on the setup?
The desktop background thing we got going on here is horrendous. Are we supposed to be like pretty critical of the setups? Because I feel like I've been just kind of tearing all of them apart.
Yeah, I mean, they said it. They sent it in wanting that, you know.
Okay, all right. Well, the desktop background thing we got going on here with the blue on the right and the green on the left. You gotta find a surround backdrop here, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not the king of awesome desktop backgrounds by any stretch of the imagination, but that's some brutal stuff going on there. I can't tell what headphones those are. Is that some kind of Sennheiser wireless setup?
I believe so.
Unless that's their brand new one, if I recall correctly, there might be some latency there. Although I personally don't find audio latency to be as bad as mouse latency. And it looks like we've got a wired mouse and keyboard. Got the gel wrist rest on there. Dem ergonomics. Those are kind of a love it or hate it thing. We've got some guys in the office who feel really strongly that the gel wrist rest is a must-have.
Yeah.
I used one for a bit. Don't personally use it anymore, but it's good to be taking that stuff seriously. Blue Snowball microphone, nice choice. I don't really get the ergonomics of that laptop.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a standing.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
But I also don't really get that closet behind the TV. I don't really understand how you get at it. Like, it seems like that's sort of bizarre. Also, I'm not really sure where you're supposed to sit to use the TV, because that chair looks a little bit high, and I don't see a couch within reasonable range of a TV that size. But yeah. What else can I say about this one? I like that the cable management is going up the one leg, and you don't have everything kind of hanging down below the desk. Again, it's a glass surface, so those are notoriously difficult to make look reasonably neat at all. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because I would have to say, you know, my little critiques come down to this is me nitpicking, like the cables coming out of the display. You know, get a Velcro strip. I'm always talking about Velcro. Just clean it up, because it looks better to have one wire coming out instead of two that are like in a V formation. It just looks weird. And I have to say, the entertainment stand thing that the TV's on, I would definitely like spray paint that. Is that a thing again? Spray painting? Are we talking about that again?
I think so. Yeah.
It looks a little worn.
You know what? That's not a stand. That's a treasure chest.
Oh.
It's a chest. It's a trunk.
Oh.
I had to look pretty closely at it to see that.
Is it really?
I kind of hate it then, because it's like, it's not very functional, because you obviously can't open it with a TV on top of it.
Yeah. I mean, he might have his gold in there though.
Yeah, but you could mod that though. Like, you could turn that into something really cool. Like, if you modded it and made like little velour lined alcoves to like stick your console stuff in, and then you used the inside of the trunk for cable management or something.
Ooh.
And then you just had like a single hole in the back that you can't see with everything coming up to everything, like that could be really cool. But just putting your TV on top of a trunk when when there's so much free or like $10 or $20 furniture on Craigslist is maybe the trunk has deep sentimental value.
Yeah, hopefully something like that. But yeah, I also think posters, stuff like that, it's just a very kind of bleh looking room. It doesn't look like other than the displays, there's really no color. There's no life to it, I think. I could be wrong, but I would personally add a little bit of pizzazz to the walls, you know, give it a little bit of life. But yeah, you have anything else you want to say about this setup?
No, I think I'm good on this one.
All right, so next setup is submitted by Krish. Hopefully I'm saying that right. He's 33, and this is his setup. So taking a look at it, what do you have to say?
Well, he's a suck up, because that Pimp My Setup stuff he's got going on the right monitor is just begging for, you know, a good rating here. I am loving the Empire Needs You poster in the back. I can't see Vader pointing at the camera, but it's there. Absolutely love that. Liking the keyboard, liking the spacing of this one.
Okay.
Like, there's clearly room for a full-size keyboard and a mouse and everything that he's got arranged on the desk. Everything is very nicely aligned. That laptop, though, looks a little bit on the staged side, because obviously you're not going to stand there and use your laptop. So we're staging things a little bit. Monitors are, excuse me, well they look like monitors. Speakers above the monitors. Not a huge fan because you're really not in the sweet spot for them. Again, it's an issue that anyone with more than one monitor is going to have with speakers.
Yep.
There's almost no way to get around it. But so I would like to see, headphones hanging on the wall next to it, just in case you don't want things to sound bad. I'm liking the subwoofer tucked away. I'm a big fan of the subwoofer on the floor under the chair. I use it as a footrest.
Yep.
Personally. As usual, I don't like the case on the floor. Looks like a Define R something or other, so like a Define R3 or Define R4. So nice quiet case. Overall I like this one. This is probably my favorite so far, other than that horrific wall color.
You don't like that?
And the carpet to match.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So one thing I wanted to point out, which I don't know how you feel, because you seem to like the way the placement of the keyboard and the monitors. You don't think that it's weird that he's not centered with the center display?
You know what? Not everyone uses the center display as the primary, though.
Yeah.
That is something to bear in mind. His primary could be his left, with only. Although I do see your point with that tower on the floor. It's going to be hard to sit in the middle when you're playing a game.
Yeah. Yeah. So he said somewhere in his email, if I remember correctly, he said something along the lines of he uses the display all the way on the right as just like if he's watching a video, he'll keep it on the side, and he tries to use it as a dual monitor setup.
Yeah, I was just going to say that right monitor is like podcast monitor or something in my mind, the way that it's set up. So like if he doesn't game at all, then okay.
Okay.
But that computer has like LEDs and crap in it, so I'm kind of assuming it's a gaming rig.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he would game on the two displays and just have the one on the far right just kind of stationary, stay in there.
And you know what? You know what's funny is I was saying some people use the left as their primary, but he doesn't. His taskbar is on the middle, so that's his primary monitor. Because it doesn't look like he's using any kind of custom software for multi-monitor management. So
interesting. Yeah, that's why it kind of threw me off, because it's like, why not put the computer to the left side or something like that? I get it for cable management. It's next to the little side piece of furniture, so it covers all the wires. But
yeah,
it's weird when you want to sit in the middle of it. I don't know. I guess it comes down to personal preference, honestly.
And another speaker placement issue is that they're placed evenly for a center seating position.
Yeah.
So
Throws
again, another issue with sitting off to the left. No, that's a good catch.
Yeah, so a little confusing, but I think overall he's got that one poster. I think is all he needs for that little section of the room. It comes together really nice. You could see what he's into, and overall. Well, actually, last question for the setup. What do you think about him getting a triple monitor stand, or do you think that it's fine the way he has it?
I'm not a big fan of the triple monitor stand.
Really?
That is definitely not a fetish for me. the triple monitor stand. I have found that compared to having each monitor on its own individual stand is actually a little bit easier to manage whenever you get a slight misalignment, because most of the triple monitor stands that I've used are A, about as heavy as having 3 individual stands.
Yeah.
B, they have extremely bulky bases that can sometimes interfere with the placement of a keyboard or like a mouse pad in front of the center monitor. And C, they just don't save a lot of space now that monitors are all like flat panel and have like these tiny little bases anyway. So I find it a little bit easier to make adjustments. With that said, these monitors do not have height adjust or anything like that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have like an entry level Samsung monitor where you don't have any of those ergonomic adjustments, then okay. But beyond that, like if you've got all the ergonomic adjustments on your monitor, not big into the triple monitor stand.
Okay. All right. Now let's go on to the last setup. This setup is submitted by Carson, and this is the crazy part. I'm going to play a little game with you. How old do you think he is?
Carson.
Yeah.
Well, I see at least a few generations of iPhone boxes. So he's not 3. So there's that. I see side cutters, so he's allowed to have tools. I see chocolate, or at least a chocolate tin over on the right. Let me have a look. Wow, I gotta try and find hints here. I see my webcam. Very nice. I see those cable management doodads that you like so much.
Yeah, the Signums. Yep.
I see we're living at home because that is like a non-master bedroom for sure setup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with, oh man, I don't know. I'm just gonna make a stupid guess because I have no idea. I'm gonna say 12.
He's 13.
Yes.
So that was almost dead on. That's surprising. People always guess way too high. So aiming low is good sometimes. So
well, you told me how young a lot of the people submitting setups are
yeah.
earlier on, so I kind of leaned towards young.
Yeah, there you go. You basically almost hit it on the head. So based off that, what are your thoughts? I mean, this is a killer setup for a 13-year-old.
When I was 13, I had a Pentium 90 megahertz, 90. It was a P1. I did not have a dedicated graphics card until I got some used graphics cards so that I could play I think it was so I could play the cutscenes of Civ 2, Test of Time, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was why I needed a 3D accelerator. Like I literally didn't have one. Man, I was like chatting it up on like ICQ. It is amazing the kinds of like cool stuff kids have these days, because I'm sounding like really old right now, but it wasn't until I was like 17, 18 that I had like my own rig really at all that wasn't a hand-me-down. Like honestly, the Pentium 1, like 90 megahertz, that wasn't current when I was 13. That wasn't like, it wasn't like, yo, back in the day I had a state-of-the-art Pentium 90 megahertz. No, I'm talking like that was like my uncle's like 7, 8-year-old hand-me-down.
Oh my God.
That was my computer. Like I had like I don't remember. It was like my hard drive size was in megabytes.
Throwback, right?
Yeah, so that is a sweet setup. I'm liking the microphone, although if his voice sounds anything like most 13-year-olds, then probably just get rid of the microphone altogether. just kidding, man. Just kidding. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, sorry, back to the setup. Lighting around the desk is okay. The American Eagle on the wallpaper doesn't tickle my Canadian funny bones or anything, so you don't get any extra points for that. I guess it's for the age, awesome. That desk color's got to change. Cabling the computers or cabling the wires behind the computer back there is like pretty good, but you could get some, like cableorganizer.com has awesome stuff, like just split loom, for example, that you can kind of bundle those things up a little bit nicer if you're trying to go for a nice cable management here. It seems like he has a lot of wires, and I can't really figure out what they're all for.
I know, right? I was like, wow, the Signums are like packed to the top. I don't understand what he has going on. There's not a lot on the desk, you know? It's confusing. Yeah,
I can't quite figure that out. But overall, I'm liking it. Room color needs some work. Liking the shelf up there, although I mean I'm sure like old boxes, maybe we could put like some maybe cooler, so maybe that's cool. Maybe iPhone boxes are what the kids are into these days. I'm so old and disconnected at this point, I have no idea what's going on, but overall I'm liking this one. Little plain, but very, very functional. Like I can't find anything where I'm like, yeah, well because of this he can't reach that thing. No, pretty good. I'm liking it.
Yeah, especially, I mean, for someone that's that age to keep it this clean, that's a lot of points. Because when I was younger, I had the messiest room. I was never clean. And to see his setup this well put, and everything is pretty organized, I mean, that's big kudos. The
floor even looks vacuumed.
Yeah, that's trust me, that's not a first.
Which means it might be an act.
Yeah, I have to say though, some of these setups, they don't vacuum, and I'm pretty sure I've seen like dead animals on the carpet. So I'm happy he vacuumed. That's a big deal. But overall, it's a great setup. Everything about it is great. So yeah, I think that's it. There's nothing else really to say about these setups because we went through all of them. So, you didn't end up scoring them, huh?
Nope.
Oh,
didn't get to that.
Okay, so
can I just declare a winner?
I was gonna say there's 2 winners. So if you had to choose number 1, who would you say?
Number 1.
Yeah, first place.
So how does it work? Like, do we each declare a winner and then like we duke it out, or like
no?
How does it work?
Normally, what would happen is when you score each category, our scores go together, and it's because each person's out of 50, and then goes added up out of 100, and top 2 scores win. So,
but I didn't do that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So because of that, you could just choose who's first place and who's second place. It's all on you.
All right. Well, I'm like that kind of guy, so I'm going with Christmas lights for first place.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. If that's what you're into.
Yeah, I'm going Christmas lights first place, and I'm going puke walls with the books under the monitor for second place.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So there you go. That's different. So
and Spider-Man wall gets third place for me.
Okay.
So I'm just going for like supreme troll rankings here.
Gonna mess up the Hall of Fame a little, but we're good. We're good. Well, there you go.
That's kind of what I do.
So there you go, guys. If you have a problem with that, don't take it out on me. Take it out with Linus, and that's that. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Linus, seriously, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you come back on sometime in the future. And with that said, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will catch you on the flippity flop.
I feel like next time I should bring my setup on and I should let everyone tear it apart because I was so mean.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.
See you guys. Dude, that was awesome. Thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
That was great. I'm sure. I mean, we went over 500 viewers. I've never did that before. So it looks like a lot of people. The comments now. The troll comments are coming in. They're not too happy.
Are you streaming on Twitch or sorry, I didn't catch where I was supposed to go.
YouTube.com/swashin TV. That's where we're live right now. Yeah. Oh man.
Is that even linked on your site though?
Swashin.tv or pimpmysetup.com or
yeah, on pimpmysetup.com.
No, because the main site's down right now. Just the queue is up. I think that the YouTube link is on there though. Should probably fix it.
No, I don't see it.
Oops. Well, let's pretend like that didn't happen. Yeah, I'll get that fixed. Yeah, the main site's down. I used to have a site up, but working on it. So.
All right, cool.
But yeah.
So no one likes my picks then?
No, they're a little mad with the whole trolling going on.
Did I really wreck the Wall of Fame?
No. It's you chose it. That's if you personally like that, then there you go. So that's a thing. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just scrolling through people. Someone said, Linus, are you okay? Oh, this is great. Oh.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
I mean, I know you're very busy, so I appreciate you coming on, and I know if you got to get going, it's all good.
Yeah, totally. All right. I will talk to you later, and yeah, total pleasure. This is a pretty cool format.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon, I guess.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya. Bye. Boom. There we go, guys. That is a thing. That is a thing. That is a thing. So there we go. Did a show with Linus. It happened. We're good. We're done. Thanks for watching, guys. If you don't know, setupbacks.com is the place you want to go for, what was that? Yeah, setupbacks.com. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Setupbacks.com is the place you want to go if you like setups. We talk about it all the time. So go over there and we will talk on that page together. Maybe we get over 1,000 members today. Let's do it. Make it happen. Just like that, it's over. Man, that was like a 45-minute episode. That was a really good episode. That was a good one. I'm sorry if you just got here. That kind of happens. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. That is a thing. Yeah, that is a thing all the time. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming out. If you did enjoy, go ahead and subscribe. I do setup videos and stuff like that, and you will enjoy it. MKBHD will be coming on later this month. Fractal Josh should be coming on Thursday. Things like that. So there we go. And yes, the pre-show was longer, but that was a long episode. That was 45 minutes. That's the standard time. So I'm happy about that. I know, I feel bad. The trolling. That was funny though. But guys, seriously, thank you so much for coming out. It means a lot that you guys were here. And those of you that know about me already, that supported me, I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. If you don't know me, I am at Mad Philly, and you could add me on well, not add me, you can follow me on Twitter. I tweet a lot. And if you guys want Austin Evans on, go tweet him. If you want Slick on, go tweet him. If you want Kanye West on, tweet him. That'd be cool. I would like that. I actually wanted to check something. I thought it was funny that he didn't actually rate them, and he did that. I thought that was pretty funny. Oh man, my TweetDeck crashed. Who else uses TweetDeck and has it crash all the time? All right, let's see. All right, so after show. Should I do an after show? I would do it in another stream because I'm gonna end this and maybe I'll go live again. You guys want to hang out? If you want to hang out, type 111 in the chat and I'll go live. Austin Evans, yeah. If you guys want him on, tweet him. Tweet him. Wow, that is crazy. 542 viewers was the peak. That's something. Oh God, Sergeant Ballistic. I'm gonna stay away from that guy. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. God, yeah. I'm waiting for people to start typing 111. Get him MLG guy. You guys have to, if you guys tweet here, let's do this. We'll go into an after show because I see you guys typing 111, and we will do some Twitter army stuff. If you guys want to help me get some cool people on the show, just like how we got Linus on, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have fun. Wow, a lot of 111s. Okay. All right, I'm going to end this stream, and I will be starting a stream very, very soon. So make sure... Here, I'm actually going to make a tweet. All right, boom. There we go. I just tweeted. If you want me to do an after show, go favorite it. Just favorite the crap out of it. And I will get this started hopefully in the next couple minutes. I just want to go I got to take a piss, not gonna lie. So thanks for watching, guys. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, wow. So make sure you go and favorite that so I know you guys want me to do an after show. All right, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you. I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Peace.